So, the Switch came out a couple days ago, and plenty of people have asked my thoughts on it. A day before launch, I mentioned on Twitter that Breath of the Wild looks pretty good, but we won't be playing it on Pixel Drifters. Or at least, I won't. Why is that? Well, a few reasons, and these are reasons that extend to the majority of Nintendo's first-party catalog. Here's why I will not be buying a Switch, and why I won't be playing any Nintendo games on the channel. Let me preface this by saying I did not grow up on Nintendo. I was a PlayStation babby of the early 2000s, I didn't even own a Nintendo console until I got a DS Lite around 2008. Even then, I mostly played third-party games and never really tapped into Nintendo's first-party library until I got a Wii some years later. Hell, the first Mario game I ever played was Mario Galaxy. It's safe to say I'm not full of nostalgia for the house that Miyamoto built. Whether this means I can give a more objective criticism of the company, or that I'm looking through this through whatever the opposite of rose-tinted goggles are is up to you. The main reason I've decided to distance myself from playing Nintendo games on Pixel Drifters is their handling of copyright law. Plenty of people have discussed the subject at length better than I can, so I won't get too deep into the lawyery details here. The most important thing to know is that Nintendo of America has a history of abusing their status as a large corporation to make unlawful claims and takedowns against fair use alterations of their content. Fan games that use Nintendo intellectual properties, such as Pokemon Uranium and AM2R, have been erased from the internet, only existing in mirrors that run the risk of being DMCA'd by Nintendo as well at any moment. I would argue that this is especially appalling in AM2R's case, since Nindy Tindy isn't exactly doing much with the Metroid name. Last time we got anything close to a proper Metroid game was 2010's Other M, and don't you dare bring up Federation Force in my house. That is a glorified Power Rangers Halo game with a FIFA mode, not Metroid Prime! The situation isn't much better with less interactive media, with videos relating to Nintendo properties being taken down left and right. Around 2012, it was like there was an unofficial embargo on Let's Plays of Nintendo games. Pixel Drifters being a Let's Play channel, this affects us directly. If we were to upload gameplay of Breath of the Wild, there's a very high chance we'd get a copyright strike on that series. Anyone who's ever uploaded a video to YouTube knows how bad that situation is, and the way Google handles that is a topic for another time. Combine that with reports of Switch game footage being blocked in all countries by both Nintendo of America and Nintendo of Japan, you've got a surefire way to deter Let's Players from giving your product free publicity. The rebellious punk part of me almost wants to protest Nintendo's copyright misuse by playing Breath of the Wild, but then I remember it's more trouble than it's worth for a small channel like this one. Now let's talk about how Nintendo treats its consumers. One word: badly. Take a look at the absolutely minuscule amount of amiibos being shipped to stores compared to actual demand. Pretty much since their initial launch, the amount of amiibos shipped hasn't compared to the amount of people who want amiibos. Making some figures more rare than others is fine and all, but making pretty much the whole of your catalog as easy to find as an original Nintendo World Championship NES cart is ridiculous. In fact, I called a local major outlet that I can't name for legal reasons, and asked how many copies of Breath of the Wild they had gotten in stock on release day. Their answer was 25 copies on the store floor, with about 40 in the entire store. This is for a massively hyped game in a major franchise from a multi-billion-dollar game publisher. 25 copies. On 2 consoles. If that doesn't illustrate a problem to you, I don't think anything will. Oh, and by the way, 71% of Amiibo sales were outside of Japan, despite the fact that international stock has been much more limited than it is domestically. Why Nintendo hasn't realized that their international consumers want their products like bees want flowers is beyond me. So, there you have it. There's my opinion on Nintendo. There's a pretty high chance that it's a controversial one, but I'm standing by my principles here. To paraphrase Edward, my opinion of Nintendo is that they don't know what they want to do now that they're a big company, but they're in that position and they keep trying to copy or compete with the other console manufacturers instead of doing their own thing, which is what made them cool and unique. They're also trying to cater to a very niche group rather than the entire market. I can't help but agree with him on that. Until Nintendo sorts some things out and starts pleasing the people who give it money, count me out of any future releases. Unless they make a good Metroid game, then I'm back on the train again. Oh! Hey guys, Rob here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I think it's a little bit of a Christmas miracle that we managed to get through this entire video without me trashing the Switch once. I'm impressed with myself there. If you want to see more Christmas miracles, even though it is the beginning of March, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can see our videos coming out, and let me know in the comments if you want to see more of these sort of short-form video essays. I mean, it's certainly something different. I'm sorry if you were expecting a normal episode today, but that just, with how weird the scheduling has been, it hasn't panned out. But thank you again for watching. Be sure to tune in, and do let me know if you'd like to see more of this. Thanks, guys.